What do you feel about Governor in California Schwarzenegger's stance recently and signed a bill that cities like yours wouldn't be able to enforce an illegal immigration relief act in California?
Well, I was called by the Associated Press for my reaction to that, and my reaction is my question. I actually had a question for the governor. Does that mean also that he will disallow cities from becoming sanctuary cities like San Francisco, where you have elected officials who are defying the federal government? When an elected official will refuse to enforce laws, I believe that is a very serious problem in this country. I don't have the right to pick and choose what laws I want to enforce in Hazleton. And here is a city like Hazleton who is trying to defend itself because the federal government has not protected us, and we get sued. And there are cities like New Haven and San Francisco and others who declare themselves sanctuary cities defying federal law, and nothing happens.
Yep. Thank you for keep on fighting. But I want to ask you about John Zogby's report that I read in the paper. I always looked at him as fair and balanced. Well, he just shot that right down the tubes with that article.
Well, actually, there'll be a little story on Fox News with Britt Hume tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Really?
Yes, addressing this. And what he's talking about, the Chamber of Commerce, local economic development company, the city, the school district, Penn State, got together and commissioned a study, Zogby International, to come in and assess, do a community assessment so that we could address some of the problems that we were having in the fact that in the 2000 census, our population had declined and we were seeing rapid changes. So Zogby was to come in and try to project our population and what needs we have so Hazleton could be a better place to live, work, and play. He actually came in and in his executive summary, his 3-page executive summary, took me to task, labeling me a racist throughout his executive summary, talking about how the nation has a negative view of Hazleton, how Hazleton is not welcoming, and basically tore the city apart. It was unfortunate because John Zogby never took the time to interview me. They were 2 years they spent in Hazleton doing the study. I was never interviewed. He claims that the crime rate has gone down because he used information that was incorrect. The population, he used the 2000 census. In the school district, he projected population, an enrollment of 10,600 students by the year 2014. We have already exceeded that today. When I questioned Zogby as to why he actually said that the mayor of Hazleton needs to be challenged on every front. He wanted to start a signature petition drive against me. When I informed him that I just won with 94% of the vote, he said that didn't matter. When I asked him how he could judge what's in my heart, when he never sat down to talk to me about the motive of the organs, he told me he didn't need to talk to me. He read an editorial in the New York Times. And he saw me on Blue Dobbs, and he knows enough to be able to make those accusations. So unfortunately, this community assessment is really not worth much. I also asked him how he could make the statement that the nation has a negative image of Hazleton. And again, he referred me to the New York Times. When I asked him, would it be of any value to him to know that there was a national poll done, and 2/3 of Americans actually support what we're doing in Hazleton, he said that that didn't matter as well. So, we unfortunately paid $50,000 for a study that is basically useless to us.
Based on civil liberties for this case?
Excuse me?
Is the ACLU being funded with federal tax dollars based on civil liberties?
I'm not certain where the ACLU is getting their money. I believe that they are. Their hopes were that we would run out of money and back down. And I started a legal defense fund, actually a website for anyone that's interested. It's called Small Town Defenders defensefund.com, and we have had average Americans from coast to coast help us fund our defense fund. For example, I received $7 from a veteran. He told me, "Mayor, this is everything I have in my wallet. Don't stop fighting. You're fighting for all of us." I had an 88-year-old gentleman who was in a nursing home who called his granddaughter. He was saving quarters his whole life, and he told his granddaughters where the quarters were hidden. He said, "Send them to Lou Barletta in Hazleton." It's letters like that. I received a letter from a gentleman in Southern California who lost his job in construction to illegal immigration. But more importantly than that, his 16-year-old sister-in-law was, she had a fight with her high school sweetheart, and as they were making up, they were walking alongside the road. An illegal alien had driven off the road and hit both of them, killing the boy, and his sister-in-law was thrown on the roof of the car where she was drugged for 6 miles until she fell off and died. And he wrote, "You are not a racist. You are a hero for standing up for all of us." And I realized that we are fighting for more people than just those in Hazleton. Now, I am not, and this is important, I am not saying that everyone that is in this country illegally are committing these crimes. I am not saying that all the crimes in Hazleton are just being committed by illegal aliens. What I am saying is that small towns such as Hazleton simply can't afford the cost, the drain. Every dollar in a small town is valuable. Every police officer, we have 30 officers in a city that should have 60 by Department of Justice standards. So that detective that spent 5 hours with that drug dealer could have been and should have been spending time taking another drug dealer off the street. So maybe our children will be safe on the playgrounds. And when that happens, when a community simply cannot withstand the drain, the quality of life is taken away. And when you take the quality of life away from small town America, there's nothing left. We are going to fight back.
Mayor, I love what are you running for Congress?
Next question. Thank you.
I was wondering if you're getting any support from Representative Metcalf and his push to help.
Yes, I am. There are state representatives who are helping us in Harrisburg in fighting with new legislation that again will hopefully make Pennsylvania unattractive for those that are here illegally. Not rolling up the welcome mat for legal immigrants. It's very hard for me to get that across in a 1-minute soundbite on television. But the Hispanic population in Hazleton actually supports what I'm doing because they moved there. They realize I'm trying to protect what they want, that quality of life, an education for their children that they should be getting. And you know who's affected the most by illegal immigration? It's minorities. Those that are here legally, who are just starting out, or who are on the lower end of the economic ladder, are being replaced by those that are here illegally, working for cash. And who's fighting for them? Who's fighting for the American worker who has lost their job? We all want and should have compassion. But we still have people sleeping on the sidewalks in America. I believe our compassion should start at home. And we shouldn't just turn our backs. Who has compassion for Derek Kishline's family? We can never bring Derek Kishline back. However, if Pedro Cabrera was not in this country, Derek Kishline would be alive today. And that's what I'm fighting for.
As resident of Hazleton area, I appreciate what you're doing. I'd like to see you succeed, and I wanted to repeat your website again.
The website is smalltowndefenders.com. Small Town Defenders, and you can keep up the ordinances on there, and as well as the latest news, and a place to click and pledge if you want to. And if you do not have an internet, a check to the City of Hazleton Legal Defense Fund will also be appreciated.
First, I applaud you. I was raised by 2 immigrants that were here from Poland, but they came here, they worked their fingers to the bone, they took nothing from no one, they came here and they loved America and they became Americans. And I feel people come here, they need to love America and become Americans, and we're losing that with these it's just, you know, when they tried to change my national anthem, it almost killed me.
Well, we also passed another ordinance that made English the official language of Hazleton. And the purpose is not to diminish any other language. It is wonderful for people to learn multiple languages. It is to preserve and protect the English language. It is the language of international business. And if we truly want to give the opportunities to new immigrants who come to America, then we should not make it easier for them to not learn English. We are not helping new immigrants by making it easier for them not to speak English. My grandmother came from Italy, and if everything was provided to her in Italian, I guarantee you she would have lived only with Italians and would never have taught her 9 children the English language. The United States Department of Education has determined that immigrants who cannot speak English are more likely to fail economically, academically, and socially. They're more likely to be unemployed. They're more likely to work in less desirable jobs. They're more likely to earn less than those that can speak English. So we are not helping the new immigrants, we are keeping them down. And I think it's important that we make sure we protect and preserve the English language.
Appreciate what you're doing. I think you should run for governor.
For people who are not on the internet, is there an address that people can send contributions?
Yes, City of Hazleton, 40 North Church Street, Hazleton, 18201. 40 North Church Street, Hazleton. Thank you. Thank you so much for the hospitality. God bless you.